All right, good morning, 7th grade. It's Monday and it's another day of school. We are in the second week of this craziness, but hope you had fun over the weekend. We had some lovely, sunny, warm days. Hope you got to go barefooted. They say we're supposed to have bare feet on the ground for 10 minutes every day, so follow that rule. Maybe you just sat in the sun on a chair. That's fun. Nice and warm. You can still go to Chick-fil-A and get yourself a milkshake. Drive through. Did you do that? It's good. I had one over the weekend. Anyway, today is a new day. It is math time, and we are going to talk about different kinds of graphs. And we have learned about different kinds of graphs. This lesson is a little bit hard to explain this way, but I'm going to try. The one graph that we learned about was a pictograph, where we had a key at the bottom of our graph. Maybe we were drawing, or maybe we were describing counting animals on a farm, and maybe we drew an animal at the bottom, or maybe we were counting trees and we drew trees for our pictures. A pictograph is simple to read. You can see the picture, and it also shows small numbers of items or use numbers that are rounded. It gives a general picture of how amounts compare with each other, but it cannot show accurate amounts if the numbers are large. That's one graph. Another graph is a bar graph, and it's more exact than pictographs. It can compare amounts or measures of separate items, and remember, it can be horizontal this way or it can be vertical depending on the subject matter. But it cannot show accurate amounts if the numbers are large. You also have a line graph, and that is where you plotted dots on the graph and you drew a line. It is specifically used to show information that changes over time. So if something is growing over time, or something that's changing from day to day or from year to year, they often use a line graph. It does not compare separate items, shows how numbers change in relation to something that is affecting them. Cannot show accurate amounts if the numbers are large. A circle graph is in the shape of a circle, and it shows the relation of parts to the whole. We've used a circle graph already where we had a person that had a certain amount of income, and we divided the circle into sections that looked like a pie wedge or a pizza wedge, and we said this was 25% and this was 50%. We were dividing up a whole thing that we had. And then you have a histogram, which shows how frequently data falls within several ranges. What they want you to do today, they give you 3 questions, and you are to choose which would be the best kind of graph for these 3 different things. One is a bar graph, one's a line graph, and one's a circle graph. And I'm going to try to give you some clues without totally giving you the answer. Number 1 says boiling times to change sugar sap to light syrup, medium syrup, dark syrup, and maple sugar. Okay, something is changing. It doesn't say how often, but it's changing from this syrup to this syrup to this syrup. One of these graphs showed how something changes over time. And then number 2 says Bingham's Lumber total yearly expenses for the pickup truck were divided as follows. Okay, they have a total amount that this truck expense is, and they're dividing it up. The fuel is $3,600. The oil and fluids are $220. Maintenance and repairs is $1,475. They're dividing up a whole. One of these graphs is used for that. And number 3 says comparison of various widths of nylon toe straps and their capacity ratings. And one of the graphs that you use, it says you can compare. This says comparison. One of these graphs is used to compare. See if you can find your answer. It's not terribly hard. All right, that's all for your lesson today. I was just looking a little bit over your lesson, what you need to know. Number 4 on the We Remember, you are to finish the table of values, plot the points on the graph, and draw the line for the linear relation. Did you guys all understand yesterday or last week's lesson where we did that? A bus travels 90 kilometers in 1 hour, where you had 1 hour and 90 kilometers. So then if you have 2 hours, how many kilometers would it be? If you have 3 hours, how many kilometers would it be? Remember, we went times 90. So again, you go times 90 for this. Okay? That's for your number 4. And then you're going to plot those points. Remember, this is X and this is Y on your graph when you do your dots. I think that's probably the main questions that you're going to have. On number 34, on page 42, it says, look at the graph on page 70. You're going to go back to the back of your book and you've got a big graph there. They want to know what letter L is. You're going to have an X and a Y. Find the L and find your X and your Y, however you do to get up there. But you're going to have like a ordered pair in parentheses. You know, this is going to be X, this is going to be Y. And maybe to find the L, I didn't even look for it, but find the L on that graph and say what X and Y is. That's all for today. Tomorrow you have a quiz, so hopefully it will be an easier day for you, but hope all goes well. Remember to text me, call me, whatever you need if you have any questions. Have a good day.